My name is Litia and I'm from the beautiful island of Laos and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
My name is Casey, I'm from Tabua. We love Today FM in Tabua. Today FM rocks.
My name is Selina, I'm from Tawengavengamba. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Pula, my name is Carlo. I love listening to the music in Today FM, in Malak Island. Today FM rock.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In the news tonight, Corrections Officer's rape trial continues. Water Authority of Fiji launches My Bill info card. And FERCA pays whistleblower.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Amrita Sagar.
It's the second day of the trial of two former correction officers who are facing rape charges. Ratumeli Vaturemba and Nasoni Kamburao are charged with one count of rape each for allegedly raping one of their female colleagues. Sharon Shivan reports.
The alleged victim continued giving evidence to court this morning, claiming both the accused had sexual intercourse with her without her approval. The witness, who is a female corrections officer, is alleged to have been raped by both the accused in the early hours of September 18, 2015. The alleged offence took place within the Suva Remand Centre premises. Speaking in the Itoke language, she said she tried stopping them, but they did not listen. The matter was reported to police 3 days later from the day of offence. The female officer was asked by the Defence Counsel on what took her so long to report, to which she replied that she was waiting approval from the then Corrections Services Commissioner, Ephraim Yubasu, before filing a report with the police. The witness also said that she was affected emotionally and psychologically. The second prosecution witness, who is a prisons officer at the Korovou prison, was called in to describe what she saw when she met the alleged victim on the same day. Alumedi Tuinambua has known the victim since 2015 and said on the day of the offence, she woke up when she heard the complainant walking around in the room. Tuinambua said there was mud all over the alleged victim's clothes, her pants were wet, and she was heavily intoxicated. The trial will continue in the Suva High Court tomorrow. Sharin Shivan, FBC News.
A water bill card that will allow consumers to access their account information and pay their bills at select outlets has been launched by the Water Authority of Fiji. WAF CEO Apateo Ravai says this initiative aims to make it more convenient for customers. Maggie Boyle reports.
According to the WAF CEO, the My Bill info card is a direct result of feedback they've received from customers.
The last thing we want is to disconnect your service because you did not pay your bill. And mind you, a lot of people who get their services disconnected, it's not because they don't afford it. It's just they can't afford it. It's because they have not been informed or they did not receive their bill on time.
Ravai says the bill card is free to customers, where they can check their bill balances and pay accordingly at selected outlets.
It has your account number at the back. And also, the beauty about this, you take the card and Post Fiji or MH can scan this code. And it automatically gives your bill information, your bill due date.
Meanwhile, WAF today signed a memorandum of understanding with Post Fiji Limited and Morris Hedgestrom to carry out the service as authorised agents.
It's a giant leap forward in terms of meeting customers' expectations and keeping with the times of changes.
Improve service for our customers, but especially people that come and visit our stores to pay their WAF bills.
The new bill card is expected to complement the SMS billing by WAF, which was rolled out earlier this year. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
A whistleblower has been paid $250,000 for information that led to the successful recovery of some $8 million in taxes and penalties from a company in the West. FERCA says this is the highest reward so far for any whistleblower and reflects their commitment to clamping down hard on tax evasion. The case involved the company engaged in the motor vehicle industry, manipulating its sales record and under-declaring VAT and income taxation. Following the information provided by the whistleblower, FERCA carried out detailed investigations with the sales reported in the company's tax returns and bank account, where major discrepancies were noted. The audit also revealed that the director of this company has other businesses and investment properties which were all underreported. Now, the future of our courts lies in moving towards arbitration court, as it would serve to ease the burden of long court processes. This was highlighted by Chamber of Commerce Secretary Anna Tuikate during her submission to the Standing Committee on the International Arbitration Bill. Rachel Nath reports.
The aim of the International Arbitration Bill is to serve as an alternative in dispute resolution.
Number one, saves time. Number two, it brings confidence in settling matters privately as well. Also, a lot of clients and members of the public, they complain that litigation is too expensive. For us lawyers, is that the lawyers cost a lot. The delay in admin, it just stays there. There's more options for other parties for interim applications.
However, the culture of arbitration court is one that is not common in Fiji.
A lot of parties, they shy away from arbitration because of assumptions or thinking that the arbitrator or even the tribunal is not independent. So instead of going to court all the time, which is a culture in the Pacific, what this bill proposes is that there's another alternative.
Concerns over what this bill would entail for those in the legal profession were also raised.
Of course, it is more cheaper than going to the actual jurisdiction, but then you'd need special lawyers.
But now with this bill, it allows them to understand it better, and they might not have to go through a lawyer.
If the lawyers are aware of such the act, they will actually be encouraged to put it into their contracts. Some lawyers might feel that they might lose out on certain clients, but it just broadens our work base.
This bill was introduced in 1965 and hasn't been reviewed since. It contains laws that are not practiced in this day, hence it is up for review by the Standing Committee. Rachel Nath, FBC News.
Fiji Labour Party leader Mahendra Chaudhry and Karam Bidesi have withdrawn their application in a matter in which they were challenging the provision in the constitution, saying that it prevents them from standing in the 2018 general elections. Both claim the provision is unconstitutional and it contravenes their constitutional right. According to the Constitution, a person may be a candidate for election to Parliament only if the person has not, at any time during the 8 years immediately before being nominated, been convicted of any offence under any law for which the maximum penalty is a term of imprisonment of 12 months or more. Solicitor General Sharvada Sharma said the court does not have the jurisdiction to hear this matter and made an application to strike the matter out. Following this, Chaudhry and Bidesi's lawyer Anand Singh applied for an adjournment. However, Judge Justice David Alfred refused the adjournment, saying he will proceed with the hearing. After speaking to his clients, Singh withdrew the application. Justice Alfred struck out the matter and ordered Chaudhry and Bidesi to pay $2,000 costs to the state and Attorney General. Well, still to come, 2-year-old child to undergo unique surgery. And hundreds throng to speakers' debate.
Total takinan na warongan ng Bula FM, number 2 en serie. Bula!
Bula FM, number 2 en serie.
An ear, nose and throat medical team from Israel has identified a particular 2-year-old child with a unique issue that requires special surgery. ENT surgeon Dr. Edward Pudell says a specialist will fly over this Friday to deal with this case. Savara Tambua has joined the team at the CWM hospital and filed this report.
The team conducted a range of ear, nose and throat procedures with a visiting team from Australia. According to Dr. Pudell, a special surgeon will be needed to operate on a 2-year-old girl this week.
We saw a lovely little 2-year-old girl earlier today who had to have a tube put into the neck to help her breathe from when she was a young baby, because she's finding it very difficult and close to impossible, pretty much impossible to breathe through the natural way, through the mouth and nose. She's got a closure of her very upper windpipe just below the voice box. And this is a very subspecialized condition that only a few people in the world would do.
These experts today performed the surgeries on small ear, sinus and neck problems of 5 patients. Dr. Pudel highlighted a few challenges that they face.
Some of the conditions that we're seeing maybe would have been dealt with a bit sooner if there were more resources. So one of the patients we have seen today, in fact, who is next to be operated on, is somebody who was waiting for us for the past 2 years because we were not available.
The Israeli team saw 40 patients yesterday, out of which 20 have been identified for surgery.
And we'll be here till next week, so if anyone needs to have an ENT issue dealt with by us whilst they're here, they should come into Suva Hospital and see to the ENT department.
This ENT team has arrived last Sunday, commenced with a screening exercise yesterday and are expected to leave the country next week. Sabara Tambua, FBC News.
Reports of sexual violence against children around the country continue to increase. Save the Children Fiji says statistics show that many of these children are being sexually abused by close family members that they respect and trust. Kelly Vadala reports.
Sexual violence against children continue to make headlines, but still some cases remain behind closed doors.
Incidents of violence against children is increasing, and that may be because now children are actually courageous enough to report it. A lot of the perpetrators are family members, people that children respect and people that children turn to for that guidance and support.
Lo Mackenzie says they're focusing on strengthening their child protection program in communities and schools.
It's working with the Department of Social Welfare, working in areas where they identify we need to do a lot of support programming. So one thing we're doing is rolling out our positive discipline training for parents.
Save the Children Fiji today signed a partnership with Telecom Fiji for a charity embroidered golf tournament for the month of August.
It's only right that we support the communities in Fiji, especially the children, the budding futures of tomorrow. This kind of fits in our bigger theme of sharing happiness with the Fijians.
Save the Children Fiji says they will also strongly focus on the rights of children to protect them from sexual and physical abuse. Kelly Badala, FBC News.
The burning Lotoka rubbish dump in Vunato continues to billow smoke across the city. These pictures posted on Facebook show that the fire reignited last night with the height of the flames clearly visible miles away. Lotoka City Council Chief Executive Chone Nakauvandra told FBC News the fire has been contained and is under 24-hour surveillance. He says the thickness of the rubbish heap has led to this extended burn, which does not pose a health risk to residents. The National Fire Authority is working with the LCC to ensure the fire is controlled and burns out safely. Nakauvandra adds that the continued smoke and reigniting of the dump fire is expected to take a few days to completely die down. Rubbish at the dump comes from Nandi, Lotoka and hotels in the Yasawas and Mamanuthas. Hundreds turned up to the 8 speakers debate in Suva last night to discuss how the tourism industry can lead to greater economic prosperity. Concerned citizens, students, landowners and experts fired questions at the 5 panelists from the government, the opposition, the tourism ministry and the private sector. Akusita Tale was at the debate and filed this report.
The tourism industry is linked to a number of sustainable development goals that Fiji is committed to achieve in a bid to further boost economic development.
Firstly, the stimulation of economic activities in our villages and societies and economic sectors. The tourism industry comprises activities that overlap into a large number of economic sectors and provide diverse products and services to visitors. And as visitor numbers increase, the demand for these services are also increasing.
We currently have a concentration of tourism plants in only a few main areas. The eggs in one basket situation is never practical. And while the expansion of and investment in more businesses in lesser travel regions like the North, the Sun Coast, Laos, and even the interior regions makes sense.
It was a fully packed room with citizens coming forward to give their opinions, raise queries and engage in a riveting one-on-one debate on the sustainable development goals and key development issues. The Fiji Trades Union Congress also used this opportunity to address workers' rights in the industry.
Protecting people's rights to ensure they are sustainably lifted out of poverty, particularly in a country like ours. We are having a job. Is no guarantee of a dignified livelihood.
My name is Kusei Jowanji and I'd like to ask
9-year-old Gusai Jiwanji was the youngest participant in the crowd and raised one of the most important subjects affecting tourism, pollution.
So Fiji is a destination that people are looking at for that kind of stuff. We're still clean in comparison to other places, but yes, definitely government is very, very keen on ensuring that we are pollution-free with all those different programs.
The number of visitors to our shores continued to increase, with almost 800,000 tourists and about 7 million visitors days recorded last year. Akosita Tali, FBC News.
5 queens take to the stage of the Vodafone Savu Savu Hidden Paradise Carnival tonight as it is officially opened at Narayan's Park, Savu Savu. Eleanor Turangaiviu reports there is a huge turnout expected from the people of the Kaunrove.
After months of preparation, the Vodafone Savu Savu Hidden Paradise Carnival opens tonight, with organizers confident they will deliver an event that is equal to any other carnival in the country.
If you see this festival here, it is no different than any other festival, be it Hibiscus or the Northern Festival. I think we are just trying to entertain people on the same level.
Organizers say the carnival will be bigger and better this year, and they have a range of activities lined up for the 5-day event. 5 queens are vying for the crown this year.
The winner of Savu Savu Festival Queen is to take part in the Fiji pageant, which is happening later in the year. So we are classed as equal to any other towns or cities, so the chance is very huge.
22-year-old contestant Miss Hot Springs Hotel Christina Ulwai says it's taken her months to prepare for the carnival.
We are ready and excited, and the atmosphere is just heated up for this evening. The lights are on, Ferris wheel all put up, and yeah, it has been a liberating experience.
The theme for the carnival this year is Go Green, Stop Global Warming. Eleanor Turangaiviu, FBC News.
Well, ahead in sports with Jamie, Fiji women's under-19 team finishes on a high. But up next is Akosita with business.
Thanks, Amrita. Good evening. Coming up, Freebird Institute announces $64 million profit. And in growing Fiji, HFC Bank opens new branch in Suva. Stay with us.
I'm another of Whenever I want to tune in to listen to great music, I always tune in to my favorite radio station, Gold FM, only the classic.
My name is Lita. We love listening to Gold FM here at the Fiji Hideaway Resort and Spa. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
We here at Tano Waterfront Lautoka love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
The Freebird Institute has announced a $64 million profit after tax for the first half of the year. They recorded an outstanding increase of 82% in their net profit after tax in comparison to the same period last year. Chief Financial Officer Waisale Ioane says for the same period in 2016, the company profits stood at $42 million. He says the main contributing factor to this increase was their integrated in-house insurance scheme that it launched in February last year. With a look at our economic calendar for this week, here's Elizabeth from the HFC Bank.
Yes, Rachel. Tomorrow, the Reserve Bank of Australia will release its inflation figures for the second quarter. The poll shows that they expect it to decrease from 0.5% to 0.4%. On Thursday, the U.S. Federal Reserve will decide whether to maintain its current rate, which sits at 1.25%. Investors are bracing for this data as they wait to make the necessary decisions on their investments. This Federal Reserve rate affects the world market and ultimately the Fiji dollar as well. Before the end of the week, we'll see figures for the U.S. gross domestic product in the second quarter. It's expected to increase from 1.4% to 2.6%. And these are the factors that will impact the global economy by week's end. Vinaka.
Thanks, Elizabeth. Now looking at today's exchange rates, the Fijian dollar weakened against the Chinese yuan to close at 3.28, while the American dollar strengthened, closing at 48 cents. Closer to home, the Australian dollar dropped to close at 61 cents, while the New Zealand dollar and PNG kina strengthened, closing at 64 and 1.35 respectively. And as for the commodities market, an increase across the index as oil prices rose to close at 46.48 a barrel, gold closed at 1,255 an ounce, and silver followed suit, closing at 16.52 an ounce. In growing Fiji tonight, HFC Bank opened its newest branch at the Nganilau House in Suva yesterday. Chief Executive Raj Sharma says with the growing demand from its customers, the bank has moved to a bigger space in the Nganilau House. In addition to their normal banking services, the new branch also offers foreign exchange services that are conveniently accessible to the public. This branch is a relocation from the Boulevard outlet. And that's business this evening. Now to sports, here's Jamie.
Thank you, Akasita, and good evening. Up ahead, women's football team impressed at Oceania playoffs. And AFL Fiji gears up for International Cup. This and more coming up.
मैं प्रेमिला वायरुकु रेकी रेकी से सुबह मेरी आँख खुलती है तो मैं मिर्ची एफएम सुनती हूँ। मिर्ची एफएम इज नंबर 1। इट्स सो हॉट।
हम लोग बार टाउन के कैरियर ड्राइवर लोगों ने हम लोग के मिर्ची एफएम सुनो अच्छा लगे। मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट।
हाय, मैं संध्या नारियल रेफ्रिकी से मेरे सारे दोस्त मिर्ची एफएम सुनते हैं। मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट। आई लव मिर्ची एफएम।
हमें स्पिन टोकताबुआ के मिर्ची एफएम में सबसे अच्छा गाना बजे।
मिर्ची एफएम इट्स हॉट।
The Vodafone Fiji Under-19 women's football side has dedicated its silver medal win at the Oceania Championships in New Zealand yesterday to former goalkeeper Francine Lockington. Lockington, who pulled out of the extended squad due to illness, passed away while the team was in New Zealand. Rohit Deo with the story.
Fiji defeated New Caledonia 2-1 in their last match yesterday to win 3 of its 5 games at the tournament for their best ever second finish. Coach Saroj Kumar commended his team for a strong performance.
A heart-touching tournament for us. Losing our goalkeeper and then coming here and winning silver, that is wonderful for us. Even though with the passing of Francine, the spirit was high to at least take a silver back for her.
The Fiji Football Association is overwhelmed with the victory and says it wasn't easy for the team to play to their best after losing a close friend.
She was a great leader and she was a member of the training. 2 months they were together in Bar. Unfortunately, 2 weeks before she got sick and was taken to hospital and she never came back. And they have dedicated this win to the Lockington family.
Captain Luisa Tamani To'okula won player of the tournament, while goalkeeper Ateda Tua was given the Golden Glove Award for an outstanding performance throughout the tournament.
We are happy with our investment in the under-19 girls, and this is the team we are looking to maintain to go and play for Fiji in the Vanuatu mini games.
The team will present their rengu-rengu to the Lockington family later tonight before she is laid to rest tomorrow. The Lockington family held the funeral service for more than a week, making sure that Francine's friends are present to say their final goodbye. Rohit Deo, FBC Sports.
Fiji Rugby Union Chief Executive John O'Connor believes it will be an uphill battle for Suva when they challenge Nandronga for the Fairbrother Trophy on Saturday. While Suva has already beaten Nandronga once this season, O'Connor says they'll need to be on top of their game to disrupt the Stallions' current momentum. The Suva vs Nandronga match will be the second challenge of the Fairbrother Trophy and will be played 3 p.m. at Lawanga Park, Singatoka.
I believe the team that maintains composure, is disciplined mentally and in the ground. But it will be a huge challenge for Suva to go down and try and wrest the trophy.
Meanwhile, O'Connor says they have full faith that Fiji Warriors coach Senirusi Seruvakula will prepare a formidable team to represent Fiji at Australia's National Rugby Championship. Seruvakula was appointed concluding interviews with the FRU in consultation with World Rugby. The Fiji Warriors is the first and only team not under the Australian Rugby Union to be included in the NRC, which is the highest tier of competition in Australia below the Transnational Super Rugby Tournament. The tournament starts 2nd September and will run for 9 weeks.
Determine a team name and in the next few days. But we think, we have confidence that President Wakula will make use of the opportunity and guide the team. It's a step up from the Warriors.
The AFL Fiji women's side will face a tough pool at the 2017 AFL International Cup in Melbourne, Australia next month. The national side, known as the Fiji Vonu, are pooled with defending champions Canada, Great Britain and newcomers Pakistan. Meli Tavanga reports.
With just less than 2 weeks before the International Cup kicks off, the Fiji Vonu still have some few areas to polish before they depart.
Planning to progress either to win the title or just progress out from top 5 to 4th.
The side, who finished 4th in the last International Cup in 2014, hopes to better their standings this time.
Fitness-wise, level of fitness is very high, and skills, we need to just go back to the basics, learn the rules of footy, since we have most of the players coming from a rugby background and soccer background.
AFL Fiji Development Officer Simon Highfield is betting on the players to be on top of their game.
Trying to do it, and we've got a really good mix of experience and youth in there. Obviously we want to prepare for the next World Cup in 2020 and things like that. See, to put them on paper, but then to put them on the field and see what they can do is going to be really, really good.
The Fiji Vonu will be going into this year's competition with an advantage, since half of the players from the last international tournament are returning into the squad and they know the taste of how tough the competition can be. Melitabanga, FBC Sports.
The Fiji women's basketball team has lost its second consecutive match at the FIBA Asia Cup in India last night. The side went down 92-48 to Lebanon in its second pool match in the B division. Fiji plays Kazakhstan in its next match tomorrow. In today's Play of the Day, some rather unfortunate action from America's National Baseball League. Houston Astros third baseman Colin Moran was hospitalized in his side's 8-4 win over the Baltimore Orioles yesterday after smashing a foul ball off the left side of his face. That's it from sports this evening. Angie joins you later on with weather. And in the world of the weird and the wonderful, take a look at the Dubai Police Force's newest recruit, a self-driving car. That's coming up.
Bula, Keron may singatoka, Keron do talita ka na varorong na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Kombinasyon ko lang do talita ka na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti.
Kaya ko sila tali, naguraramay na umani, nando nga. Gitu talita gini ang gagawin na sa wale, nagudurong barong na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti.
Na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti na ponga ni BNN.
Now, it wasn't that long ago we were all upgrading from tubes to flat panels, from square to wide screens, and every year brought bigger and thinner models with higher resolutions. Today, we've plateaued. Manufacturers have tried to keep innovating, but technologies like 3D and curved displays have yet to gain any real traction. Well, now it's time for weather with Angie.
Hello there and welcome to the Weather World. Hope you took your umbrellas as you headed out of the door today, because we had some overnight showers which continued into today. But all that rain faded away to leave a dry day. Looking at the west, it was mostly dry with few light rain indicated for later tonight. Eastwards from Peck Harbour to Suva, clouds bubbled up and it's more likely to rain tonight as well. And up in Vanuatu, there wasn't much show of sunshine as it mostly remained cloudy. At sea, southeast winds 10 to 15 knots with moderate to rough seas. And for the tides, low tide tomorrow morning will be at 1:25 with a high tide at 7:34. See the beauty of sunrise at 6:35. For tomorrow, it will be a dry day with very light showers in store for us. Tomorrow's temps, Lautoka and Lambasa will be the warmest at 28 degrees. And looking further on to Thursday, we have few showers evolving over us, but the good thing is, it will not affect us. And that, Amrita, wraps up our FBC weather for tonight.
Thank you, Angie. On Fijian Pulse today, we asked, should there be tougher penalties for businesses or shops that sell alcohol to underage children?
That is one way to stop them from selling it to the kids.
Well, they should be charged and prosecuted and taken to court and tasked.
Yes, all of them. Because they are young kids and they really don't know what they're doing, right? And when people sell things to them, obviously they're going to get a hold of it and start buying and get into more trouble.
Certainly yes, because especially some of them doesn't have the license to sell, and to sell those to the underage people, it's not so good.
By the end of the year, Dubai's police force will have a new recruit patrolling the streets, a self-driving car that acts as a mobile surveillance unit. The vehicle is about the size of a child's toy electric buggy and is equipped with 360-degree cameras that scan for wanted criminals and undesirables, presumably using facial recognition technology. Now, recapping the main stories. Correction officer's rape trial continues. Port Authority of Fiji launches My Bill info card, and FERCA pays whistleblower. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station, Gold FM. To our poll question. Now, the results from last week. We had asked, should strict action be taken on those retailers who fail to adhere to the decree in fuel prices? Once again, 81% said yes. This week, we are asking, are there enough marriage counsellors in Fiji? Visit our FBC website to answer. Before we go, our shot of the day was sent by Aliti Vatuloka. The picture was taken at the Wananavu Beach Resort in Raki Raki. A good view if you're around Volivoli Ra, wanting a perfect sunset view of the west. You can always send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via our Facebook page FBC News. You can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or simply hashtag FBC News. And that was your FBC News for tonight from the team and I. Have a safe and enjoyable evening. Bye for now.
Kera mai singa toka, kera ndo tali taka na varorong na radio Fiji 1 and the moi viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Kombinasyon mo tikola ndo tali taka na radio Fiji 1 na ndo moi viti.
Ayaw ko yazo sila tali, nagurara may nawamanyi, nandunga. Gitu tali taki yang gitu Venezuela pun nangguntur rongo, barong na radio Fiji 1 na ndo moi viti.
Na radio Fiji 1 na ndo moi viti na bonga ni BNN.